they come from. Pratham Alo, the newspaper, has also called it a terror attack.
Yunus is the Osama bin Laden of today's world.
The state has no strength, or those who are on the street are the state themselves. There's nothing called spontaneous, Bob. There's a theory called you keep the pot boiling.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.
Thanks very much for tuning in. You're watching Unmissable. I'm Nabila Jamal. I take you through the top news. Let me start with our top story on Deep Dive today. We're going to explore what happened in Indore. Indore water has been poisoned and we believe 14 people have died. Now, what's the reason for poisoning? Many alerts to authorities fell flat. In fact, people complained of stinky, smelly water, but to no avail. 14 people dead. We're going to take you through that story with our panelists. And also making of India's youngest commercial pilot. We have with us, joining us live, Samaira, who is one of India's youngest pilots. She tells us a little on how she took forward her ambition, how she achieved this feat at a young age, and a great start for her this new year. And also on our top story on Day Tonight, Switzerland cafe hit by a blast, several dead. As always, I take you through the headlines first. Major boost of India's Atmanirbhar vision. First made in India bullet train in 2027. Flag off targeted for the Independence Day next year. CEO Deepinder Goyal and stand-up comedian Kunal Kamra spar online over Zomato's record deliveries and delivery partner pay. After Zomato CEO boasts of New Year orders, Kunal Kamra questions wages and the treatment of gig workers. Charge sheet reveals fatal lapses in the Delhi BMW crash case. Victim Navjot Singh was alive for 15 minutes after the crash. That's what the report says. Delay in medical attention has led to the death. Case pertains to September 14th, when Navjot Singh, an official in the finance ministry, was killed during while he and his wife were en route. A BMW crashed into his motorcycle in Delhi's Ring Road. Lokpal withdraws controversial 5 crore tender for 7 BMW cars 2 months after it was floated. Action following fierce criticism over luxury spending. SIT flags larger scam as over 4 kgs of gold missing from Sabrimala temple. In fact, investigation reveals theft from the Dwarapalaka idols and Sanctum Sanctorium door frames. Pinarayi Vijayan sidesteps questions on leading LDF in upcoming assembly polls, says party will decide CM face through collective deliberation at the right time. And portion of RK Mutt Road in Chennai collapses opposite Manoj Bhavan, forming 5-foot deep pit. Traffic diverted as officials begin repairs. Residents say similar cave-ins have repeatedly occurred on that very stretch, highlighting a recurring infrastructure issue. Dozens dead, over 100 injured after massive fire ripped through a packed bar during New Year's Eve celebrations at Swiss ski resort of Crans, Montana. Cause of the fire that right now is still yet to be established. Officials say it is accidental, not an attack. All right, let's take you through our top story, a sad one, the start of the year. Not very happy to give you this. Imagine water that you drink, you would assume is safe, to quench your thirst, but for people in Indore, it turned deadly. In fact, 14 people have died in Indore drinking contaminated water. Yeah. The year ended in tragedy for several families in Indore. 14 people are dead. More than 200 have been hospitalized. All of them drank contaminated water that was given, water supply that comes from the government itself. Contaminated water in Bhagirathpura'S. As 2025 drew to a close, residents began falling sick with vomiting, diarrhea, severe weakness. For some, treatment came too late. Among the dead is one boy, 6-month-old, Avyan Sahu, born after 10 years. In fact, this child was precious for the family. Every child is, but they prayed for this child, born after 10 years, and the child dies. Develops diarrhea just days after drinking some water that was given, contaminated water. His family took him to a local doctor, but on the night of December 29th, 26th, he was hospitalized. 29th, his condition worsened. He developed high fever, started vomiting, and died at home. And many such cases like this. They allege that locals there say they've informed authorities for nearly 2 weeks that dirty, foul-smelling water is coming off the taps, and they've got to take action on it, but no action was really taken. That's what locals say, and some serious glaring lapses have also been found. People are falling ill. Videos have surfaced showing a local ward councillor at a park. Now imagine you have people falling sick and dying. 14 people are dead, and the councillor there is enjoying his time at a park. Municipal water works in charge, who's instead of actually attending to the situation at hand is attending a food event. The visuals has also sparked now outrage among the people there, saying that those in power who are in fact responsible for this are not even showing concern to the families who are deceased after drinking contaminated water. Angry residents confronted the BJP leader then, Kailash Vijayvargiya, and tempers flared. We saw visuals of that. Locals alleged their concerns were brushed aside, and their claims, they in fact believe that they had to protest. Only then officials gave some reaction and arrived to fix the situation. But imagine 14 people dying out of this, and yet it's the alarm wasn't raised. Kailash Vijayvargiya, BJP leader, later said action would be taken and medical arrangements were in place. Let's take you through reactions coming in on this.
ये शहर तो वो है इंदौर जहां पर कई बार अवार्ड मिला है वहां की म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को, और अगर वहां के शहर को अवार्ड मिलता रहा है और वहां ड्रिंकिंग वाटर की ये स्थिति हो कि जिन्होंने पिया उसकी जान चली गई हो और कई लोग बीमार हैं, और जब इस सवाल भारतीय जनता पार्टी से किया गया तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग जवाब न दे करके किस तरह का व्यवहार कर रहे हैं आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकते हैं। ये वही लोग हैं जिन्होंने कहा था कि मां गंगा को साफ करेंगे। आज अगर मां गंगा का पानी पी लें आप तो आप खुद बीमार हो जाएंगे।
There is a probe now into the water contamination. There are several lapses that have been identified. We believe leakage in the main water pipeline. The main pipeline supplying the Bhagirathpura'S had a loose joint, allowing possible contamination. Also, toilet constructed above the pipeline. Shockingly, newly built toilet was dumping waste directly into a pit that was located above the water supply line. And also improper waste management. The toilet pit lacked a proper septic tank, causing sewage to potentially mix with drinking water, and contamination at the main line before branching. The contamination occurred near the main line, affecting a wider area before water distribution branched out, and delayed detection. The illness spread so quickly and widely before authorities even identified the problem there. So it's shocking the kind of lapses that have been reported there on this. AIMIM Chief Asauddin Owaisi has said this is absolutely shameful. Government could not even provide safe drinking water.
इनकी गवर्नमेंट ऐसे ही है कि ये लोग बेसिक एमिनिटीज जो है जिसको इंसान को जरूरत पड़ती है, साफ पीने का पानी मुहैया नहीं कर सकते ये लोग। तो ये तो मध्य प्रदेश सरकार की सरासर नाकामी है कि 2026 में आ गए और 2026 में हम विश्व गुरु के दावे करते हैं और गंदा पानी पीकर लोग मर जाते हैं।
Now, the Chief Minister has stepped in, announcing compensation for families of the deceased and free treatment for those affected. Health teams are conducting door-to-door surveys, with officials fearing nearly 2,000 residents may have been exposed to this. Pipelines are being flushed. Tap water use has been fully stopped now until Friday, and 60 to 70 water tankers have been deployed there. Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court is also hearing a PIL ordering immediate supply of clean water, free treatment and a status report by 2nd of Jan. 14 deaths, imagine. Hundreds have fallen sick. How did such poison enter water? And it happened under the nose of authorities. They did not even react when locals there alerted them. Only when deaths were reported, nearly 14 of them, and protests happened. People literally out some politicians there, and that's when action was taken. Let me bring in our guest joining us, Abbas Hafiz Khan, spokesperson of the Congress, Abhilash Khandekar, who's a senior journalist, joining us from Madhya Pradesh, and Dr. Dilip Bhanushali, the immediate past president of the IMA. Dr. Dilip, as a doctor, I'd start with you first. Imagine 14 people who have died, and I cannot...
Resignation of anybody, nobody, very few. You remember, Nabila, very few months ago, there was such a disastrous event in Chhindwara where a poisonous syrup took a large number of children's lives in Madhya Pradesh. Before that, there was a well which sunk into this thing because of it was unauthorized, and a lot of people from one family, 11 people died, which was again Kailash Vijayvargiya's son's constituency. So the point I am trying to make is that BJP is ruling this state for last 20-25 years, and there is no governance. So it is issue of governance. And unfortunate point is that the municipal commissioner who was in charge of all these things had been made collector a few days ago, and all the four important civil servants who have been posted from Bhopal very recently have been handpicked by Chief Minister. And we see what is happening in Madhya Pradesh, what is happening in Indore. Indore was known for Ahilya's good governance for many years, and today what we are seeing is that we are not able to provide even clean drinking water to people. So this is absolutely
I'm absolutely shocked. What we hear is now 162 people have been admitted to nearly 27 hospitals, of which 14 of them have died. 162 people, so the number could only rise. The death toll could rise. And it's such a severe problem. For nearly 2 weeks, the residents flagged it off, but they didn't...
And the minister has been saying that free treatment will be given to them. Chief Minister was quick to announce the compensation, but we don't want compensation. The idea is that we should, Indore is an ideal city. Indore should get clean drinking water for each and every person who is, but unfortunately BJP treats its people as voters and not as citizens. That is a distinction between the voter and a citizen. A voter keeps coming to the polling box once in 5 years, but he remains a citizen for 5 years. And as citizen, he is getting nothing. He has to only pay taxes, and he has to... Municipal corporation in Indore, or for that matter any other corporation in Madhya Pradesh, are deeply ridden with corruption. And this is another example of corruption, because the citizens have been saying that for the last 1.5 years, they have been complaining to municipal corporation about this kind of polluted water being supplied to their households. And here the Prime Minister is talking about Jal Jeevan Mission and taking the tapped water to every home in the country. And here in a city like Indore, which is a historic city, people are dying in 2026.
It's just, it's unbelievable that a toilet is being built over a main pipeline and sewage is going into that water. There was a leakage in the pipeline, and from the toilet, sewage has been going and people have been drinking this. I cannot believe this is 21st century India. Indore, such a urban city, the cleanest and said to be well developed. A situation, a case like this is actually shocking. I don't know what to say except for the health minister or the, the CM himself should take responsibility. I don't even know who could we ask to resign. Who could we ask to resign?
One more important thing is this is there that this area is the perfect example of triple engine ki sarkar, or rather much more than this. The councillor is from the Bharatiya Janata Party. The MLA is from the Bharatiya Janata Party, who is also the minister for all these bodies who are responsible for the cleanliness and everything. And then the biggest part is, Abhilash ji knows it very well, the Chief Minister for the very first time in the history of Madhya Pradesh has kept a district as his own district for which he is the in charge. Indore is under Chief Minister's ministry, in charge ministry. So this area is having lapses, then that means that what this government has pushed the state into. That's the irony. And no one is accountable. Rajnath Singh's statement is very relevant these days also, that in NDA, in BJP, no resignations are being asked and no one resigns. Anything can happen.
No, but Abhilash, as a journalist yourself, would you tell us what is compensation enough? I mean, in that sense, they've announced it, but should there not be criminal liability? How will the residents, are they willing to take up a legal case against the authorities? Ideally, someone should be backing them. This is criminal.
I can't say whether they will take up the legal action because the court takes a lot of time for hearing. There is some case going on PIL in the High Court.
Residents are saying for 2 weeks they've complained. For 2 weeks they've complained. So ideally the minister in charge should step down.
Nabila, more than that, they have been complaining about changing the water lines to the municipal corporation. The local councillor corporator did not listen to them, nor the mayor. So the point is that should mayor not resign? The Indore mayor should resign immediately. Or the urban development minister who is from that constituency and has been a minister for last 25 years. He was National General Secretary of BJP in Delhi for a few years, but after that he has been since 2003 he has been a minister in Madhya Pradesh. And next comes what is the accountability of Chief Minister Mohan Yadav. Mohan Yadav has been visiting Indore every alternate day for the last 2 years. What has he done to Indore? Some question will have to be asked to Mohan Yadav, that every day either he goes to Ujjain or he goes to Indore. But what does he do in Indore? He has posted all. Divisional Commissioner has been handpicked by Mohan Yadav. District Collector has been handpicked by Mohan Yadav. The Indore Development Authorities Chief has been handpicked by Indore, the Chief Minister. And then again the Indore Municipal Commissioner, who is Mr. Yadav, is known to Chief Minister Yadav. He has been sent 3-4 months ago, and all these 4 officers are responsible. They may be saying that they are new to Indore city, but fact remains there is a system which is working, but the system has completely failed, taking lives of 14 people. And one doesn't know how many of them who are admitted to the hospital may succumb. One only wishes that
there are nearly 200 people. Numbers are only increasing. 200 people are hospitalized right now. I can't even imagine such mass casualties have happened, and so far nobody in charge has really stepped down. The government, of course, have suspended some municipal authorities. Is that right?
That is an eyewash, and they are looking for scapegoats.
Yeah.
They are looking for scapegoats, and it's an eyewash.
And they are zonal officers. They are zonal officers who are accountable for 3 wards, 3 municipality wards. Like if you talk about the population, it must be 50,000 under them. They are nobodies. But the main point is
Nabila, one more point that Khan will know.
And he has made himself the in charge of Indore. Indore is something bigger than any other city because the Chief Minister for the very first time has himself allotted Indore to his own portfolio. And that's the irony. Nobody is asking about Chief Minister's role. Nobody is asking about his own accountability. Whose resignation will happen? The minister who is in charge for the municipalities or the minister who is in charge for the district? Both the ministers are equivalent to Chief Minister.
Let me tell you, Mr. Khan, that as you know, and also to Nabila, that the Indore Municipal Commissioner does not have good relations with the mayor. The Indore Municipal Commissioner has been posted against the wishes of the Urban Development Minister. The Indore Municipal Corporation's then Commissioner was promoted as Collector very recently. Now the person who has not been able to hold the Municipal Corporation, because this pipeline issue is not only yesterday, or the toilet was not built overnight. This problem has been there for months together, years together, and the municipal corporation officials are the first to be hanged, frankly speaking. So municipal commissioner who was in charge of the whole corporation, which is having, like Mr. Khan says, 2,200 crore worth budget for cleaning or water supply, if he becomes the collector in Indore, and the same officers are running the Indore city, and Indore city is being represented in the assembly by the Urban Development Minister, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, and Mr. Chief Minister is visiting Indore every now and then, and people are dying, and we are all helplessly debating here.
What a shame. What a shame. Mass casualty, it's a rare occurrence. We've never seen this kind of news, at least not in a long time, that I've seen mass casualty like this, and that too out of basic drinking water.
I would like to remind your audience about the same.
One after the other. Yeah, Abhilash.
Shame.
I'm just wanting to bring in the same thing, that people died because of innocent people died because of the lethargy of the officials in Chhindwara through a poisonous syrup, and nobody, no heads were rolled. The health commissioner remains there. There was no change in the health commissioner. Again, he is very close to the chief minister. No, and a smaller fry was suspended in Chhindwara, and tomorrow this will happen in Indore also. People will go back to their own businesses, and we will also go back to our own businesses. Unfortunately, this governance style in Madhya Pradesh, which has been dominated by Bharatiya Janata Party when Uma Bharti became the chief minister way back in 2003, and today this is 2026. Continuously, Bharatiya Janata Party, barring 15 months, Congress came to power. So what kind of governance model they are showing? And they say that we are not a Bimaru state. I still feel that Madhya Pradesh continues to be a Bimaru state.
From the looks of this case, absolutely is. They must hang their heads in shame.
This same Indore was in headlines because of its MY hospital, where newborns were died because of the rats. And that nobody made the chief minister accountable. Nobody made the deputy chief minister, who is the health minister, also accountable. But
ideally, Abbas, as an opposition there in Madhya Pradesh, why don't we see vociferous protests and issue being raised on the ground as effectively as an opposition should? I mean, we don't have a BJP spokesperson here, so I can't even ask them questions at this point. But as an opposition, why can't you step up and be more aggressive in condemning it?
Our frontal organizations are there protesting, asking for the resignations also. We are constantly protesting on many issues almost every week. Water cannons, very forceful water cannons are being used also. Lathi charge are also constantly happening in this state, across the state, in each and every district. Our workers are hospitalized every week because of the lathi charge, because of the water cannon. But the whole issue is still nobody is ready to be accountable because of the chief minister's behavior. Chief minister is not very powerful, but he has got too much power. And everybody is fighting within the Bharatiya Janata Party's government, and they are making each other responsible for many things. Passing the parcel is being done, but the Congress party is constantly protesting, and we will protest till our last breath. And you will see us and our cadre protesting across the state, and they are doing. But the issue is we can't bring back the lives.
We can't. And I'd like to ask our doctors, I'm coming to an end here. Doctor, could early intervention have saved their lives? People didn't even know what hit them. They were admitted in hospitals with diarrhea, and then days later they're dead. So, could you give us a word of advice? People who are currently hospitalized, how do you believe they should handle this?
This could have been avoided. Now, they said this has been happening for last almost 2 to 3 weeks. The water samples should have been collected. It should have been tested whether there are contamination or not. And if it was there, they should have stopped that water supplying. So this could have been avoided.
Yeah, Abhilash, a final word on the tests. Now, 2 weeks up, the test report has not come out.
I think they are trying to hide things, and they are trying to delay things so that this outrage which is happening in Indore will subside, and after that they will try to take certain actions which will pacify the people who are angry. But let me ask you, all of us know those families which are bereaved, and those 14 people who have died without any fault of theirs, they are unlikely to come back. They cannot be brought back. So this is such a tragedy, and the point is that when we talk about tragedy in rural India, when we talk about tragedy elsewhere, here is a city which is very cultured city, with very much in the news for all the tall claims of cleanliness for one after the other 7 years. So what kind of cleanliness? There are a number of photographs which have appeared in local media and television showing lot of unclean and unhygienic streets and water seeping from everywhere. And as you rightly said, that the toilet has been erected there, but it is not only about one toilet. The entire pipeline, which is affecting hundreds and thousands of people in that particular ward and that area of Bhagirathpura, they are all suffering. One doesn't know that how many people have been drinking this poisonous water for how many days.
Yeah, for how long?
So what
You know, Dr. Dilip, how long lasting are the health effects? Those who survived, what are the long-term health complications you believe?
Number one, which we have seen earlier cases, the contamination with sewage causes jaundice, hepatitis. I don't know whether they have been tested for that, if the hepatitis there or not, or which type of hepatitis can occur. But with contamination with sewage, it can definitely cause a havoc. It can cause an havoc. So prevention should have been there earlier. Now that they have stopped the water and supplying with clean water, but once it was detected 3 weeks back, why wasn't the water stopped? That's the question.
Same. I appreciate our guests joining us. We've highlighted this. Now, lives can't be brought back, but like Abhilash said, it's about time. You have the minister in charge, urban development minister, your mayor, whoever's responsible there for fixing the pipelines, all must be dismissed and must step down. At least that's the only moral reaction, ideally, that they should display at this point, apart from just giving compensation. And a legal case must follow. I hope activists and journalists come together and help those families fight this out legally as well. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us on that. A quick break. We'll be right back with all our top stories. Stay with us.
सामने एक नया सुपरमार्केट खुलने वाला है। क्या करें कि मेरे पुराने ग्राहक भी रहें और मुझे नए ग्राहक भी मिल जाएं?
देखो, आप एक चाय कॉर्नर लगा सकते हो। चाय पीने पुराने कस्टमर्स रुकेंगे और नए कस्टमर्स भी आएंगे। इसके अलावा बिल्स और सेल्स देखकर हम एक इन्वेंट्री प्लान
2026, take notes. Manifesting. For my little Miss Sunshine, tickles and giggles. Also want to be a biker chick this time. And year 2026, only love for my people and myself. To manifest my best life, nature's cosmic energy.
Now mine, natural diamond intention pendants.
Welcome to the new episode of Season 2 Malaysia.
Alright, let's take you through what we see here on a young girl who has really made it big in the aviation industry. Samaira Hulur, a schoolgirl growing up in a small town in Karnataka until one helicopter ride completely changed her life. She is now one of India's youngest pilot. It happened with Samaira in grade 5 itself. She enjoyed a helicopter ride and that's it. She stuck on. This happened in her local hometown in Karnataka's Bijapur, where she went on a helicopter ride, and ever since that became her defining moment. She wanted to be a pilot. And her mum, her parents there completely backed her dream, and unwavering support from her mother, Nazia Hulur. Samaira began imagining a future for herself as a pilot, and by class 9 she was certain she wanted to do it. She took the training and here she is. We believe that she has finally got through all her examinations and is now waiting for an airline to call her so that she could fly around. She's completed all her courses and she's at this point raring to go. We have Samaira joining us live for sharing her journey with us, and all we can do here is celebrate her on the first day of New Year's today. of 2026. We thought it'd be great to have Samaira talking to us right here on News 9. Thanks, Samaira, for joining us, and congratulations for being the youngest pilot. Are you really India's youngest pilot, though?
Yes, I'm amongst the youngest CPL holders, commercial pilot license holders in India.
Well, Samaira, tell me, do you remember the moment that you realized that you wanted to be a pilot? Do you remember that real defining moment? When was that you really felt that urge that I want to pursue this as my career?
I was sitting right beside the pilot, and he had a very nice personality himself. So me and my mom were very much fascinated with that incident. And I just had that in my mind. I was very young to actually think that I could pursue this field. But then eventually my mom did get me into that field.
All right. Samaira, we know at this point you've spoken about your mother and your family. You also imagined your mother in the helicopter cockpit. Did that really fascinate you? How did you visualize yourself as a pilot?
I was very young to even understand what was going on there. But eventually, after that helicopter ride, I had that in my mind that pilots are very cool. So that was just a picture that I had in my mind. Then later on, my mom had another incident where she was walking in the airport, in the boarding gate. So the whole crew was coming through the gate and everyone was moving aside. So that was the particular incident that actually, that was a time when I was in 10th standard. That actually inspired my mom to try and get me into this field. That's how I initially was pushed in this field by my mom. And then I've enjoyed every moment of it ever since.
All right. You come from my hometown, that's Karnataka. You are from Bijapur. What was the common reaction you got, Samaira, from people there when you wanted to be a pilot?
The common reaction was that no one actually knew how this field works, because I am from Bijapur in Karnataka, and in the whole city itself we have a handful of pilots there. So I did not even know who to ask about this field. So everyone's reaction was the same, that how are you going to pursue, if you want to pursue this field, how are you going to do that? Because no one else is, even in my family, is a pilot. No one around me was a pilot. So my family did support me initially, because this was new for them as well. So they were also confused whether we should send 17-year-old girl to big cities for studying and all. So that was the first reaction that I had from my family. They were just confused whether we should send our little kid.
From what I hear, your journey wasn't really all smooth. It was also a few bumps here and there. You were not allowed to give your exams because they said you're not 18 yet. How did you feel?
No, that thing was that one of the exams that we need is RTR. So that's radio telephony. That is how we talk on the radio and all. So to give that exam, you have to be 18 years old. And when I was giving the exam, I was not 18 yet. So I had to just wait. I was not rejected actually.
But at 17, how hard is it? How hard was it mentally to be told not yet, that you're not ready yet, when you were ready?
That actually felt like a privilege, because everyone around was complaining that we cannot clear the papers, even though they were in the age bracket. But then my reason was that I'm not even that age to give the exam. So I felt more motivated that whenever I turn 18, I'm going to clear it in the first attempt. And I did actually.
You know, you have many firsts to your name, Samaira, and one of also that is that you completed ground training in just 7 months.
Yes, I did my ground training from Delhi and I did it in 7 months, and all the DGCA papers that we have, I could clear it in the first attempt with decent marks.
Amazing. You know, my question here is, when all your friends are doing their bit and, you know, enjoying, I mean, of course, no judgment there, but when your friends are having their time out with friends and enjoying their youth, you decided to go into hardcore discipline and train yourself for this. How did that make you feel? Did you ever feel FOMO, fear of missing out?
No, no, I was very happy with what I was doing. So if it was the case that I was pushing myself negatively, that I want to get into this field, I'm gonna cut myself off from everything, and that would have been a little hectic. But then I was enjoying every moment of it. I was enjoying studying. I was enjoying the study part in Delhi, and when I was in flying school, I was enjoying the flying part very much. So I never felt that I was missing out on anything. And I also had this in my mind that if I work hard in my training period, then I'll have a very nice foundation built. So I can do this partying and all whenever I want to once I am done. I had that in my mind, and yeah.
Lovely. You know, we hear that you were called by your school as a chief guest. How did it feel to come back to your school? I'm sure it must have been surreal, standing there as a pilot where you were once a student.
Yes, I did go back to both my primary school and my high school as a chief guest. And they were very proud of me.
What did you really say in your speech there?
In my speech, I told them that I told them how important it is to be dedicated at a young age, and that being a chief guest is an amazing feeling and everyone should aim for that.
Amazing. You know, I have a question for you on the aviation industry, which is largely male dominated. Do you feel a pressure as a woman, as a young girl? Do you feel pressure to represent more than just yourself?
I am I am from a very quite small percentage of the field because I am one of the 15% of the women in the field, and I am very young at that. So there's a very small percentage of people like me. So I do feel that I am a little privileged, but then throughout the journey, I've got very nice people who are supporting me. So I never felt that I was different from them, but then at the same time, you do have to work hard to set your image in the industry.
Now that you're a pilot, are you also pursuing a degree at the same time? Are you also studying another course?
Yes, I always wanted to study international relations. So I'm doing my Bachelor's of Arts in IR currently.
Amazing, amazing. You know, I'd like to ask you, what would you tell youngsters watching you? You know, what is that one advice you'd want to give to people your age and younger, or just any girl who wants to pursue their dreams?
My one advice would be, whatever stage you are at in your life, you should give your 100% to whatever you want to do. It might be the smallest of things, it might be a big, very huge goal that you want to do, but you'll just have to give your best and not give up.
Can I ask you, who do you want to give credit to your journey, Samaira?
Yes, there is actually. I want to thank my initial instructor, Captain Monica Chaudhary, and my chief flying instructor, Captain Madhavraj Singh, because these two people have been throughout my flying training, my initial days I learned flying from Monica ma'am, and my CFI has always monitored and corrected everything that I've done in my training.
Amazing, amazing. We're so happy to hear, and thank you very much. Thank you so much, Samaira, for joining us and talking to us. It really appreciate it, and I really wish you all the very best. All right, we're slipping into a short break. We'll be coming back with all our top stories on Day Tonight. Stay with us.
This isn't a trail of peace. This is pressure overload. A hill built for 1,000, forced to carry lakhs.
Instead of lightening the footprint, you have allowed people to actually get into every nook and corner of the Himalayas.
Careless travel, choking hills. If we don't change now, there won't be much left to enjoy.
We need to follow the Bhutan model, regulate people who can access hills.
News9 presents Heal the Hills, continuous coverage.
Let's start with Switzerland. A major tragedy has now struck Switzerland, where a deadly explosion and a fire ripped through a crowded bar at a luxury ski resort there, killing more than 40 people and injuring over 100, according to the Swiss police. The blast, in fact, occurred around 1:30 a.m. local time at the Lee Constellation, a popular bar in upscale resort town of Crans, Montana in southwestern Switzerland, where New Year celebrations were still underway. Police say more than 100 people were inside the venue at the time, many of them tourists visiting for the holiday season. The entire area has been sealed off and a no-fly zone has been imposed over Crans, Montana, as investigations continue. The cause of the explosion remains unclear. Some Swiss media reports suggest fireworks used during the concert may have triggered the blast. Officials have not confirmed this. The visuals show pyrotechnics being used during the concert there inside a confined space as a large crowd was celebrating. That could have been the result of the fire. Emergency services, including police, firefighters and rescue teams, were rushed to the scene as victims with severe burns were pulled from the wreckage. Authorities have confirmed multiple fatalities, though the exact death toll is still being verified. Swiss police say the situation is still evolving with more details on casualties and the circumstances of the explosion that yet needs to be investigated. A political storm is brewing over cricket, cinema and nationalism over controversial remarks by Uttar Pradesh BJP leader Sangeet Som targeting Bollywood actor and Kolkata Knight Riders co-owner Shah Rukh Khan. Speaking at a rally in Meerut, Som accused Shah Rukh Khan of being a traitor for associating with Bangladeshi cricketer Mustafizur Rahman, now part of the KKR squad. Som issued a provocative warning that Bangladeshi players would not be able to step outside Indian airports if they come to play, framing the issue as one of national loyalty. Listen in.
अगर रहमान जैसे खिलाड़ी भारत में खेलने आएंगे तो एयरपोर्ट से बाहर कदम नहीं रख पाएंगे, हम दावे के साथ कह रहे हैं। समझना चाहिए शाहरुख खान जैसे गद्दारों को कि जिस तरीके की गद्दारी आप देश के साथ कर रहे हैं, आपको यहां तक अगर आज पहुंचाया तो इस देश के लोगों ने पहुंचाया। आपको अगर पैसा मिलता है तो यहाँ के देश के लोगों से मिलता है, लेकिन आप उस पैसे से देश के साथ गद्दारी करते हैं। आप कभी पाकिस्तान को चंदा देने की बात करते हैं, कभी रहमान जैसे खिलाड़ियों को खरीदने की बात करते हैं। ये देश में अब नहीं चलेगा, इन गद्दारों की देश में कोई जगह नहीं रहेगी, ये मैं कहना चाहता हूं।
Now, Hindu religious leaders have joined the chorus, questioning the inclusion of Bangladeshi player amid alleged attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh. In Haridwar, saints have gone further, demanding a ban on Bangladeshi cricketers in IPL 2026 and threatening protests if Indian players share the field with them. The issue has also fueled street-level protests and boycott calls against KKR, with demonstrators directly targeting Shah Rukh Khan and urging him to reconsider the team's decision. This comes as India-Bangladesh diplomatic ties remain strained, pulling cricket into a larger political narrative. BCCI, however, has clarified that there is no ban on Bangladeshi players in the IPL, stressing the league remains a global sporting platform governed by its own rules. Mustafizur Rahman, an IPL regular, has previously played for 5 franchisees, making KKR his 6th one. With neither Shah Rukh Khan nor IPL authorities responding so far, controversy only building at this point before the game. Now, a controversy has erupted in the local Jammu and Kashmir Champions League. During a recent match in Jammu, cricketer Furqan Bhatt was seen sporting a helmet with a Palestine flag, sparking nationwide attention. Jammu and Kashmir police have taken immediate notice and have summoned Bhatt for questioning. Authorities say they are currently investigating the circumstances under which the flag was displayed. Police are also investigating the intention behind sporting this flag. League organizer Zahid Bhatt is also under scanner. The police are probing whether organizers were aware of the incident and if any permissions were sought. With the Jammu and Kashmir Champions League now under close police scrutiny, further action will be decided based on the ongoing investigation. Why he wore it, what was the reason, was there prior permission, all of that will be examined. Tamil Nadu has now been disturbed yet again with a spate of violence in 3 attacks in under 2 weeks that have been reported. 3 of them targeting migrant workers. Stabbing to sickle attacks, brutal killing. The incidents stand in sharp contrast to the state government's assurances on safety. Tamil Nadu streets now see yet another one. First incident, remember, was on December 15th in Coimbatore. 27-year-old Govind Kaun, a migrant carpenter from Uttar Pradesh, was stabbed at a bakery after saying he did not understand Tamil. The CCTV footage went...
New episode of Season 2 Malaysia.
This isn't a trail of peace. This is pressure overload. A hill built for 1,000, forced to carry lakhs.
Instead of lightening the footprint, you have allowed people to actually get into every nook and corner of the Himalayas.
Careless travel, choking hills. If we don't change now, there won't be much left to enjoy.
We need to follow the Bhutan model, regulate people who can access hills.
News9 presents Heal the Hills, continuous coverage.
Bangladesh is on edge. Protesters also targeted symbols of Bangladesh's political history.
Mr. Yunus is being the new Jinnah of Bangladesh.
What defines this mob? Who are these people? Where do they come from? Pratham Alo, the newspaper, has also called it a terror attack.
Yunus is the Osama bin Laden of today's world.
The state has no strength, or those who are on the street are the state themselves. There's nothing called spontaneous, Bob. There's a theory called you keep the pot boiling.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Namaste, Privitanיה. Welcome to the brand new episode of my Belarus season. मैं आई हूँ बेलारूस की और एक खूबसूरत सिटी में. Now we are going to explore the beauty of this beautiful city, Grodno city, जिसे रोडॉन भी कहा जाता है. वेल ये सिटी मिन्स्क से अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 300 किलोमीटर्स की दूरी पर है. पर इंटरेस्टिंग बात ये है कि यहाँ से पोलैंड सिर्फ 15 किलोमीटर्स और लिथुआनिया 30 किलोमीटर्स की दूरी पर है. दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट स्ट्रीट्स ऑफ ग्रोडनो नोन एज पेडेस्ट्रियन सोवेट्स्काया स्ट्रीट. यहाँ की वाइब काफ़ी ज़्यादा ब्यूटीफुल है. अगर आप ग्रोडनो में आते हो यू शुड डेफिनेटली स्ट्रोल अराउंड द स्ट्रीट. यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे कैफ़ेज़ हैं, रेस्टोरेंट्स हैं और शॉपिंग सेंटर्स भी है. सो इफ़ यू वांट टू शॉप सम सोवेनियर्स, सम आउटफिट्स फॉर यू, दिस वुड बी द आइडियल प्लेस फॉर यू. सो आई लव द वाइब ऑफ दिस प्लेस. और मुझे पता चला है कि ये जगह है स्टार अवेन्यू. वेल इसे स्टार अवेन्यू क्यों कहते हैं? यहाँ पे बेलारूसियन और रशियन स्टार्स आया करते थे. यस, वो यहाँ पे आके क्वालिटी टाइम स्पेंड करना पसंद करते थे. ये जगह स्टार्स के अमंग्स तो पॉपुलर थी ही, बट दिस वाज वन ऑफ द पॉपुलर फिल्मिंग लोकेशंस. यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी बेलारूसियन फिल्में शूट हो चुकी हैं. सो देयर इज़ दिस पर्टिकुलर रीज़न दैट आई एम स्टैंडिंग हियर बिकॉज एज यू कुड सी यहाँ पे जो लिखा है वो एक फिल्म का टाइटल है, बेलारूसियन फिल्म का टाइटल है और उसका टाइटल है बेलारूस. ये फिल्म बनी थी 1983 में और कहा जाता है कि हर एक बेलारूसियन ने ये फिल्म देखी ही है. मिर टाउन में आकर मिर कासल में ना हो ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता बिकॉज मिर कासल इज़ द रियल ब्यूटी ऑफ मिर टाउन. यस, अब मैं एक्सप्लोर करने वाली हूँ इस ब्यूटीफुल कैसल को. बिफोर दैट आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू अ ब्यूटीफुल इनसाइट अबाउट दिस. ये कासल बना था 16th सेंचुरी में इन मॉडर्न ब्रिक एथनो स्टाइल और ये आज भी मौजूद है थोड़े बहुत रिनोवेशन के साथ, लेकिन यहाँ हिस्टोरिकल टच आज भी मौजूद है. 21st सेंचुरी में इस कासल को ऐड किया था यूनेस्को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट में और आज ये टूरिस्ट के अमंग्स काफ़ी पॉपुलर है. इस कासल में हमारी बॉलीवुड फिल्म स्क्वाड का एक गाना शूट हुआ था जिसका नाम था बरस जा तू. वैसे इस फिल्म में नजर आए थे रिनजिंग डेंजोकपा और मालविका राज. रिनजिंग डेंजोकपा की ये डेब्यू फिल्म रह चुकी है. आप रिनजिंग के बारे में तो जानते ही होंगे कि वो हमारे वेटरन एक्टर डैनी डेंजोकपा के बेटे हैं, पर मालविका राज को आपने शायद ही पहचाना होगा. डू यू रिमेंबर दैट जूनियर पू यानी कि जूनियर करीना कपूर फ्रॉम कभी खुशी कभी गम? यस, शी इज़ द सेम मालविका राज. क्या आपको उसका वो फेमस डायलॉग याद है? चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू की चाची को चांदनी रात में चांदनी चौक में चांदी के चम्मच से चटनी चटाई. यस, आई रिमेंबर. डू यू रिमेंबर इट? दिस फिल्म रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड अ स्पेशल टास्क ऑफिसर जिसका कैरेक्टर प्ले किया है रिनजिंग ने. उनका मिशन थ्रू आउट द फिल्म एक ही होता है, टू प्रोटेक्ट द ग्रैंड डॉटर ऑफ अ साइंटिस्ट जिनके पास ब्लूप्रिंट होती है ऑफ अ लिटिल साइबॉर्ग प्रोग्राम. दिस फिल्म वॉज रिटर्न एंड डायरेक्टेड बाय नीलेश सहाय. इस फिल्म का मेजर शूट मिन्स्क और ग्रोडनो में हुआ था एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर यहाँ पे इसके गाने का शूट हुआ है. यू कैन लिटरली स्पॉट ऑल दिस वॉल्स इन द सॉन्ग. बेलारूस के ऐसे ही कई सारे खूबसूरत लोकेशंस हम एक्सप्लोर करने वाले हैं. स्टे ट्यून्ड टू माय जर्नी. मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट रुचिरा और यह है मेरा बॉलीवुड वाला ट्रैवल शो bollylands.com, बॉलीवुड का ग्लोबल कनेक्शन. यहाँ स्क्वाड के अलावा और 2 रशियन कंटेंट शूट हुए थे which I remember precisely. One was a TV series Sniper and another one was Sorry, It's a Girl. Till date, I have covered few locations in Belarus और हर एक लोकेशन की खूबसूरती लाजवाब है. एंड आई वंडर कि यहाँ पे आज तक सिर्फ एक ही बॉलीवुड फिल्म कैसे शूट हुई है, बिकॉज ईच एंड एवरी लोकेशन हैज़ अ डिफरेंट सीनिक ब्यूटी टू ऑफर. अब इसी लोकेशन को देख लो, यहाँ पर लेक है एंड राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ इट देयर इज दिस ह्यूज ब्यूटीफुल castle which has a historic royalty. Well, I would want to urge our Bollywood filmmakers, you must come here to explore this beauty of Belarus because it deserves to be featured in our Indian cinema. After exploring the capital city Minsk, I really wanted to connect to the nature क्योंकि मैंने सुना है कि बेलारूस 40% फॉरेस्ट रिजर्व करता है. आई एम प्रिटी मच एक्साइटेड टू एक्सप्लोर दिस फॉरेस्ट क्योंकि यहाँ पे कई सारे वाइल्ड स्पीशीज़ और एंडेंजर्ड स्पीशीज़ भी है, प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, बर्ड्स, ये सारी चीज़ें हमें आज देखने मिलने वाली है. सो आई एम प्रिटी मच एक्साइटेड.
So in this case, you are invited to start. Please.
Let's go.
Let's go.
यहाँ इस रिजर्व में दुनिया भर से लोग आते हैं टू एक्सप्लोर द इको टूरिज्म. वेल, यहाँ पे 16 ग्लेशियल लेक्स है. यहाँ पे 250 साल पुराने वाइल्ड ओक ट्रीज भी आपको देखने मिलेंगे. एंड दिस प्लेस इज अ ह्यूज हैबिटेट फॉर प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स एंड बर्ड्स. यहाँ पे आपको एंडेंजर्ड स्पीशीज भी देखने मिलेंगे. खूबसूरत ट्रेन का सफ़र करते करते मुझे हमारी आइकॉनिक बॉलीवुड फिल्म शोले का ओपनिंग सीक्वेंस याद आ रहा है, जहाँ पे संजीव कुमार जो इस फिल्म में पुलिस ऑफिसर का रोल अदा कर रहे हैं, वो हमारे जय वीरू मतलब अमित जी और धर्मेंद्र जी को हथकड़ियाँ पहनाकर लेकर आ रहे होते हैं. एंड एट द सेम टाइम गब्बर सिंह के डेकॉइट्स ट्रेन को लूटने के लिए आते हैं. बीइंग अ पुलिस ऑफिसर, संजीव कुमार को उनके साथ अकेले लड़ना पड़ता है. और उसी समय, और क्योंकि हमारे जय वीरू इस फिल्म में चोर का किरदार प्ले कर रहे होते हैं, वो संजीव कुमार जी को रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, हमारी हथकड़ियाँ खोल के तो देखो, एक बार भरोसा करके देखो, हम साथ में लड़ेंगे. Reserve is located on the shores of Ribnitsa and Beloy lakes. यहाँ पर आकर आप ट्रेन राइड एंजॉय कर सकते हो जो हमने अभी की, which is approximately 30 kilometers long. उसके बाद बोट राइड एंजॉय कर रही हूँ मैं, and I'm glad कि हमने सफारी भी कवर की. I've just enjoyed my boat ride where we could spot few of the beautiful birds over there. Well, इसके पहले हमने सफारी भी एंजॉय की और सफारी में we tried to spot some bisons, yes, which are known to be national animal of Belarus. लेकिन being shy, वो हमें देखकर भाग गए. But we are glad कि we could spot them from far. Can you believe? During 50s, bisons were on the blink of extinction. और तब यहाँ पे 2 bisons को छोड़ा गया था. और आज की तारीख पे there are more than 600 bisons over here. कैपेसिटी भी बहुत है. Around 420 people can dine at the same time. बेलारूस की 91% पॉपुलेशन क्रिश्चियनिटी फॉलो करती है और इसी के चलते यहाँ पे आपको कई सारे खूबसूरत